Hello and welcome to Ask Questions before hiring a Myrtle Beach electrician, or any electrician for that matter. In most cases, electricians are capable of doing the work, and they are fair and honest. And this applies whether they're an electrician in Myrtle Beach, or in Conway, or in Georgetown. However, there are always those few who are not quite so capable. So make sure that you ask plenty of questions prior to hiring an electrician for any maintenance or installation job in your home. So what questions should you be asking? Well, first of all, keep in mind that not all electricians handle every single type of job. So some electricians in our area handle only construction jobs, and others may handle only remodeling jobs. In some instances, these electricians will be handymen that do minor jobs. So when you are asking for an electrician, make sure that you fully explain the kind of work that you need done. By asking the right questions, you can make sure that they're capable of doing the job and the work that you need done in your home. Some other important considerations when hiring an electrician. Think about certain things, for example, like insurance, and does the job require a permit? Don't be afraid to ask for proof of insurance, and if it's applicable, proof of a permit. What happens if a worker is injured? Now keep in mind, accidents always do happen. And when that happens, who is responsible? Are you responsible for that particular injury of that person? Make sure that you find out and get proof of workman's compensation, and make sure that they are capable and able to pay for any accidents. If someone would come on to the job site, for example, a neighbor, does the electrician have general liability? And if so, be sure you ask for proof of that general liability. And last but not least, be sure and ask them to see their business license. Now let's talk about asking for an estimate. You may want to ask for an estimate before they come to your location. With the high price of gas today, you want to make sure that if you just have a small job, that they're not driving all the way to your home to get an estimate for a job that, let's say, would only take an hour, and they already took a half an hour or 45 minutes to drive. Many electricians will have a minimum or fixed price for some of these smaller jobs, and they can usually give you that information right over the phone. If it's a remodeling job, ask how long the job is going to take so you know how long your home may be under construction. And for larger jobs, you may want to get more than one estimate. However, don't let price be your only consideration when you are looking for a good electrician. Another word of advice is don't cut corners. What do we mean by this? Well, you don't want to purchase your own materials. In the long run, this is just going to end up costing you money. You are better off having the materials included in the estimate, and make sure that they are included in the estimate. And also, you're going to want to ask what happens if materials are damaged during the installation process. Who is responsible purchasing the replacement materials? Ask who is responsible if the materials are damaged, as we mentioned, or how about lost or stolen? So you want to make sure that you are not the one with a higher bill than you expected to get at the end. Speaking of the cost, you always want to know what is due and when is that payment due. Usually with smaller jobs, an electrician will request that it is due upon completion of the job. With a larger job, it is customary to ask for a down payment, balances paid in increments during the job. So know when the increments are due and be prepared for payment. You want to make sure that you understand what forms of payment are accepted. You don't want to get to the end of a job, whether it's a small job or a large job, and have the electrician ask you for a check when you are expecting to pay by credit card. So make sure you understand that they will accept personal checks, what types of credit cards they may accept, or if they're willing to invoice you for payment later. So with any electrician job, whether it's small or large, proper planning is essential. What happens if additional labor is needed? Who is responsible for paying that additional person? How about travel costs? Are they included in the estimate, or are you expected to pay additional costs for travel to and from the job? Again, as we mentioned, what happens when damage is done while doing the job? Now, this might include, let's say, a hole in your wall. Who is responsible for fixing the hole in the wall? Is that included in the estimate, or are you going to have to pay for that and bring in someone else in addition to the electrician to repair that damage? Make sure you understand that before the job is started. So always ask specific questions that may apply to your situation. The more you understand about what the electrician is going to do and what is included, the happier you will be when the job is done. So in the Myrtle Beach area, you want to contact Myrtle Beach electrician Mr. Sparky. He's located in Conway, but he serves the entire Grand Strand from North Myrtle Beach down through Myrtle Beach, Surfside, Murrells Inlet, Pawleys Island, and Georgetown. So you can contact him at 843-347-9974. And for more great tips on safety in your home, be sure and visit bestmyrtlebeachelectrician.com.